to strap in and get ready.
The leaders in AFL Supercoach are incoming, helping you win your leagues and climb up the rankings.
You're now listening to the Insight AFL Show with your hosts, Big Horse and Skiddy.
Hello and welcome to the Inside AFL Show. I'm your host, the Supercoach Horse. And with me tonight, we've got a bit of a treat for you, ladies and gentlemen. But first of all, my man, Skiddy, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. Better than your voice just went. That's for bloody certain. But I'm going fantastic. Nearly had a very bad day today, Horse. I nearly got hit by a car, so that was a nice start to the day. Some bloke T-boned a bloke in Baldwin, and I was walking on the road and missed me by the amount of Collingwood umpiring decisions that cost North last week. So very, very close.
It was close.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see that you've made it to the pod, mate.
I'm good.
Fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we've got a very special guest. In 2014, this man was nominated by himself for the AFL draft. At pick 18 in this draft, Sydney took Heaney instead of this guy. In 2002, he won some KFC socks and a bottle thanks to finishing in the top, 300 in Supercoach.
311.
This man has also once broken his ankle when celebrating the 2017 AFL Premiership on the final siren. Fresh off warming the bench in the Div 4 Ammos in the VAFA in Melbourne. I speak of none other than our man, Pete from Nerds for Life. How are you, mate?
I'm great, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you. I've been looking forward to this. I was meant to be on last week, but I was so sick. But thanks for having me. Looking forward to having a Supercoach chat. And the last week of buys.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. It's been a bit pain, hasn't it?
Yeah. I feel like I've been talking about buys all year.
It's terrible. But you're spot on. 6 games this week, and then we're done. Then we've got the run home. But if you haven't ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hit like, subscribe, the bell down below. Give us a thumbs up as well. It helps us get us out into the internet world, more people, more exposure, and we love that. But also, jump in our Discord. Insight Unlimited is live, and for less than 50 cents a week, you'll get access to everything we do. Our insights, our trades, our captains, exclusive premium Q&A, every round of Supercoach, and a few other cool perks. If you just want to get involved in our Discord, it is for free, though. So you can just jump in, talk footy with anyone else, like-minded people, and, just go your hardest. Last week, there were a couple of games where we had over 1,000 comments in each game, so people are definitely getting around it. Skiddy.
Yes, mate. They are actually a fantastic bunch of blokes as well in there. Every single one of them. And just a quick g'day to all you beautiful bastards in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We love that. We'll obviously get to the questions at the end. But remember, Cups are live. If you haven't already seen in the Discord, in the general chat, there are clues for tonight's Cups. If you go 6 or 6, then you do win the $50 prize pack courtesy of the Sense Quiz, and maybe a little something from the store, from the Insight store.
We haven't had anyone win it yet.
No, they have not, mate. That's why I'm giving these. That's why I'm giving these clues out, so these blokes can stop being weak as piss and can be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's a last week of only 6 games, so this is as easy as it's going to get this week. Now, our Unlimited League is closed, but we're giving a shout out to whoever's sitting on top of that Unlimited League. And this week, it is Team Teach Me to Football, coached by Marcus. He has jumped into 30th overall. He's jumped 47 spots last week, and he's not far off the lead. So we're keeping a massive eye on Mr. Teach Me to Football. In our Unlimited League, we actually have 11 in the top 500. So there is a lot going on in that league.
Love that.
Skiddy.
Yo.
Your time, mate. Squeeze of the week.
All right, Pete, it's time for everyone, a lot of people's favourite time of the week, and that is where we do Squeeze of the Week. That's right, the whiteboard is open. And as you may see, I don't know if you can see that at the top there, I've gone Brody Grundy this week at 164. So everyone in the chat, if you're not in the chat, you can put it in the Discord under the subsection Squeeze of the Week. All you have to do is guess the highest individual Supercoach score of the round, what that player is, and what the number they are going to score is. If you are the closest, you will win the prize pack.
You will.
But there's obviously no double ups because we've already stuffed up once there before.
Yep.
So first in, best dressed, Pete. As the special guest tonight, my man, who do you think is going to be the Squeeze of the Week?
I reckon, and I have a feeling a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and I'm probably going to get it wrong. But I have a feeling he's going to go pretty big. He's been very underrated all year. And I'm tempted to bring him in as a bit of a POD to try to come home strong.
Ooh, we love that.
And that is Patrick Cripps. I reckon Patrick Cripps is 151 this week.
Wow,
151 exactly. And it'll be against the Cats. The Cats concede huge points to inside mids. And Cripps is just a bull in that midfield. So I just think if they're going to give anyone attention, which they don't, but if they hypothetically did, it's going to be Sam Walsh. It's not going to be Patrick Cripps. And I reckon he's going to have a big game.
I like that. There's nothing wrong with going rogue. Yeah. I really like it. Horse, thoughts?
Zach Merritt, 160.
Of course.
Why not?
I think he scored 60 last time he played them?
No,
West Coast?
108. 108 or 120.
He was on I remember that game. I was sweating at 3/4 time because I had him as my captain that week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then he just had this really good fourth quarter. I'm like,
no, I envision West Coast coming across to Melbourne, without Harley Reid. Yes, they've got Elliot, what's his surname? Elliot. I don't think they've got a tagger to go with him. So Zach Merritt off the leash. Last week, it was the Amati party. 10 possessions, 9 goals at 1 point, 182 Supercoach points. If you think that you can go rogue and pick one from left field, go your hardest. We love to see it. Now,
I think Junkie's got it on the head with Collingwood
umpires 180. Mate, let's get into some games, boys. So our first lot of games are brought to you by our long-term sponsors, the Standard Squeeze. Are you sick of breaking glass bottles or your beer going warm or your coffee getting cold? The Standard Squeeze have everything you need to drink responsibly but also conveniently. The Standard Squeeze products are made from food-grade quality plastic so you can measure the perfect pour in case you need to drive so you know exactly how much you've had. You can go to the website, thestandardsqueeze.com, and use the code IFS15 to get yourself 15% off everything in store. Now, this week, Pete, we've got the Hawks, Pies, Crom, Tigers, Dogs, and Saints on the bye. How much is that going to affect your Supercoach side, mate?
Oh, I'm screwed. I knew this round was coming. And I've been dreading it all year. And then I keep recruiting rookies to try to break the voice. So at least I'm not scoring a 0. And those guys that I brought in were Richards, Will Dawson, and I've held Zach Reid and Nick Caulfield all year. So not great. Not a great week. But I have to admit, I'm going to scrape 18 together. So I'm pretty happy. Good. I'm not going to get a 0. I will scrape it, but only just. Should be fine. I should be fine, I think. I just got to nail my captain. Should be right. Maybe Patrick Cripps.
Yeah, not wrong there.
How about you guys?
I'm in the exact same boat. I have literally 18 because Colby McKercher is now playing. But now I may have 17 because LDU might not play. So please, LDU, please play to give me 18.
Yeah, he got scans today or yesterday? Yeah.
Yesterday, I think it was, yeah. So their main trainings tomorrow. We'll be able to see, or we'll hear more tomorrow after they're done. But our first game on Friday night, your man, Paddy Cripps and the Cats, and the Blues take on the Cats. Paddy Dangerfield may or may not be back.
Whoa. Cups horse. Settle down.
I'm getting into it.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go on.
Okay. Have we seen if anyone's guessed it in the chat yet?
Yes, I have. I'll get stuck into the Cups. All right, Cups time. Carlton versus the Cats. And unfortunately for Tommy, it is not Justin Murphy.
He was last week. Essendon Carlton.
He was actually, yeah. But Corey and Kizza, number 25 was the hint. It is the Lockie Henderson Cup. Well done, boys. 1 of 1. Well done. Hot start. Go on, horse.
Tom DeConey, our first player for the Carlton Footy Club. The Blues' next 3 are Cats, Tigers, and Giants. He's got a break even of 14, 3-round average of 139. Is Pitnet going to come back, you reckon, Pete?
I mean, it depends if Pitnet plays, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think Pitnet comes back, though? Or do you think
yeah, no, sorry.
they
I
just
think,
run-
I think he might. Because, look, can De Koning go... I don't think he's played a full month on his own if Pitnet is available, personally. He usually plays 1 or 2, and then Pitnet comes back into the team pretty quick to give him a little bit of relief.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that trend continuing, honestly. And
Yeah,
that kind of means... that affects... An odd one. When Pitnet plays, it affects Mackay's scores as well, because Mackay doesn't get as many chop outs. So just so for anyone that's like thinking about Mackay or Curnow, for me, I think Curnow would be a better option because Kernow's like someone
100%.
that scores regardless, but Mackay is kind of reliant on Pitnet not playing. So sorry, I'm just delving into it a little bit too much, but
You're right.
No,
I
you're
reckon
spot on.
Pitnet comes back in soon because they actually structure quite well when Pitnet plays, but they do concede a lot more to inside midfielders when Pitnet plays, which is a weird one. So yeah, something I've observed.
Yep, I think you're bang on.
Yeah, with Harry at 422k. I think he picked up a bit of a shoulder issue out of the game. And you're right, if Pitnet comes back, then he's just he just plays as a high forward and you can't trust his goal kicking. So yeah, I'd be picking Charlie Curnow, Skiddy, if you had to choose between the two.
100% agree there, mate. As we see with Pitner back on the side, Mackay does not get those pinch hit ruck contests, and that puts his score down a little bit. So bang on there, Pete. Curnow, though, definitely can be one that we can look at here, mate. He's 448k. He has a break even of 100, but Geelong in the last 7 weeks leaking the most amount of points when the ball goes inside their defensive 50. That means they are doing worse when the ball goes inside the defensive 50 than North and then Richmond in the last 7 weeks.
Wow.
So could be a big game for Curnow. It just depends on how much the midfield structure comes back with Danger most likely back and Guthrie most likely back, and if Carlton's mids are able to compete and get the ball down there enough for Curnow to be that impactful. Because I would assume that Sam De Koning goes to Harry Mkay and then Henry to Curnow.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't think Colin Jasny goes to either.
No. He'd get destroyed in the air.
Which would be fine if you're a Curnow owner.
Yeah,
Yes.
which means that screams multi, which we'll talk about in our punters chat later on.
Absolutely.
Paddy Cripps, he's got a 3-round average of 103, and that sounds about right. But our man Pete, he's banking on him to go large. And Sammy Walsh,
The squeeze.
yeah, 548k, break even of 122. Can he be a top 8 mid rest of season? He does usually play well against the Cats. So, yeah, who would they have that would run with him? Jack
Geelong
Bose?
don't tag. Oh, yeah, Bose. Yeah, Bose is the only one.
Maybe.
Is he available?
Blissabs or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his name. Sorry.
Yeah, it all depends if Stanley's playing, maybe. But then if Stanley's not playing, he's almost got to play that hybrid ruck, doesn't he, with Conway?
Yeah, would have to. So it depends. I mean, look, Geelong haven't really been tagging this year from what I've noticed.
No.
And if they have, they're not doing it well. So I just think I don't think there's going to be a tag. I really don't. So I could see this being a really big blowout for Carlton's mids.
Yep.
What about for the Catters? Yeah,
So good.
you've nailed it. For the Catters, Tom Stewart, 466k. I am not stuttering. I did not read that wrong. He's got a break even of 120 as well. Last time he played against the Blues was in 2021. I'm going to throw this to you, Skiddy. Do you think he can get back to his best, or do you think it could be 9 eyes and no chance of him being a top 6 defender this year?
Well, I think it's personally because he's adapted a new role where, sometimes people tag him, but they're not doing it every game. It's that he is now actually locked into being a bit more of a defensive role. I think it's because the ball has been down there more often than it actually has been, and it hasn't allowed him to be that intercept defender and be as free. He has to actually show a bit more concern on his opponents.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm starting to fade it in fairness. But that price for the good of the player that he is so bloody tempting. I just think there's better defenders we can roll with, but I don't hate it because when we look at it, when we have all the teams playing next week, right, we could get Tom Stewart now for 466 and bank on him switching around. Or we could go with the form at a cheaper price and maybe look at something like a Jaden Short from Richmond. As yuck as he's been this year, he has gotten a lot better. And I can see you guys shaking your heads, but still, he's got 2 tons in a row. Oh, I know. He's burnt me too. Also, to get your tips in for the Port Adelaide versus Brisbane Cup as well.
Right. So, Skiddy.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Are you ready to get hurt again by Jaden Short next week?
I think I am.
Oh!
Brother, what's that?
No. Faith and skid.
Mate, Maxi Holmes, he's been one that's really impressed me from the Geelong Footy Club this year. 572k, 2 tons in the last 2 games against the Blues. He's got the Blues, Bombers, and Hawks in the next 3 for the Cats. Does Chincotta go to him, Pete?
As a Max Holmes owner, I hope not. But he has been insane. Like Chincotta's been insane as a run with sort of midfielder, halfback or whatever he's been rotating through to stop players. So I'm kind of hoping he goes to Bose and not Holmes, because Bose has actually been pretty good for the last month. But especially against, I think it was Richmond. That Richmond game, he was insane. But then everyone's insane against Richmond. Max Holmes has been consistently pretty good, so I reckon we'll probably see Chincotta and Max Holmes. He's just that outside run with player, and he'd be the one that you follow around, I would say.
Yeah,
I agree.
The thing that I reckon to get Chincotta with Holmes is Holmes' pace, like his ability to create that separation and be able to lace out targets on the run. He's one of those players that doesn't need to slow down to be able to lace out targets 50 metres away, which is us boys. We've played footy before, and the people that are watching at home no doubt have as well. But that's a unique ability. Like there's a lot of people that need to slow down before they kick in order to be able to make the ball spin right or to be able to make it go in the general direction of where they want it to go. But this guy, he's just lace out. He's got such a good shoe on him, doesn't he, Skiddy?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. But as I'm going to back up Chincotta here. Look, we saw what he did to Zach Merritt. And that's about the pace that Max Holmes can kind of generate as well. So I think that Chincotta to Holmes would probably be the go. And then they'll back Cripps and Walsh in to beat, Dangerfield. We got to remember that Bose probably won't be in the midfield very much because Danger's back, and Guthrie could be back too, who's also another inside mid. So that just kind of leaves the door open. You're not going to tag Danger and Guthrie as they're just coming back from injury. That's not what they're going to do. They're going to back in Cripps and Walsh and Hewitt to be able to beat it. And that's the other thing. George Hewitt's in there as well. He has played defensive roles as well in the mid. So, yeah, I could see that being a thing too.
I can't see Hewitt. So I can't see Hewitt shutting down someone like Holmes. That I can see Holmes running absolutely like everywhere, and Hewitt not being able to keep up with him. But Chincotta.
Sorry, that's what I was saying. Chincotta can go to Holmes in my eyes because of what we've seen from from Merritt. But Hewitt will play that defensive role in the middle of the ground to be able to nullify, Danger and Zach Guthrie's and these guys run from going forward in the mids.
Yep. We've got Paddy Dangerfield, 457k. He's coming back after a long layoff. We're not touching him just yet. And probably not for the rest of the year, mind you. Jeremy Cameron, here's one that we can look at, Skiddy, 420k with a break even of 53. The last 2 times he's played against the Blues, he's gone 126, 149. Do you see him as a potential top 6 forward for the rest of the year?
I think this is the part where it's a bit of a throw up because it's either Jezza, Curnow, Caldwell or Danaher, in my eyes, has been that 6th top forward.
Did you say
Danaher? I did say Danaher, mate.
Don't swear at me.
No, you heard me. But I can definitely see Jezza being the pick out of the bunch because he does push up the ground a lot more, and he's been scoring 90s without like a bag of goals. So if he brings back the goals, then we could definitely see tons.
For sure. Jai Clark, 221k. If you've still got him, awesome. He's got a break even of -22, but with Danger and Guthrie back, definite sub risk. And Dempsey, you're just selling, aren't you, Pete?
I just heard sub risk for Clark, and I realized that he is my 18th man. And, and then I just went, no. I just like died inside.
Yeah.
And I can imagine I'm preempting the 5 as my last score for the week.
Oh shit.
He might be my trade down.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, if I think Guthrie and Dangerfield both named, done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I've bailed. I don't care about the negative 22 break even. He might hit that.
Yeah. He might not.
That's it. Yeah. So, nah. Sorry.
That's all right. Let's move on to the next game. So we'll give people 30 seconds at home to pick who they think it might be. But it's Port Adelaide versus Brisbane in the City of Churches. Do you think Port actually have a shot at winning this, Pete?
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely do. I think that at their best, they can. But last week was pretty brutal, to be honest. I watched the game and they didn't look great. If Rosie can come back into some of his early season form, maybe. Definitely, maybe. But Brisbane looked pretty good. And I think I saw something about, he won't come back this week, but I saw Ashcroft running around. So he might be back soon.
I think it's next week or the week after. Even though AFL app saying 3 to 5, he could be back not this week, the week after.
That's exciting.
So
I'm just taking a punt on him.
I've seen a couple of nice little guesses in the chat, lads.
Yeah, mate.
Fabian Francis got a gig.
Oh my god,
that's a blast from the past. Love that.
Yeah, that is a big ball call.
What else we got?
Or the Jared Polak Cup, and look,
there
Ian,
is no.
If anyone knew anything about me, there's no way I'd pick Jared Polak. No. But the boys have caught on to it because they did see the clue in there as being the former captain, and that is Tommy Pigcliffe. Yes, that is right. Tommy Rockcliffe, the absolute ball pig that he was.
Oh, didn't he rack up some scores, didn't he?
Oh, bloody oath he did, mate. Geez, yeah, he absolutely had some massive disposal games, contested disposal beats at some points.
Let's start off with the Port Adelaide Football Club and Zach Butters. Thank fuck he got off his suspension, boys, because otherwise I'd be struggling. 172 his break even is, but I don't care. Brisbane, Saints, Dogs, next 3. Tags are looking like they may come to him to shut him down. It is filling us with a little bit of doubt, Skiddy, but I don't think Berry's going to go to him.
No, I don't think Berry's going to go to him. I think Berry normally takes the bigger body mids rather than the quick little bastards. So, I think he's pretty safe from the Berry tag, but we may say it. You never know.
Yeah, that's right. Pete, have you got Butters?
I do. Last week was annoying. I've got him in both my draft league and my classic league. And he was my captain in my draft league last week. So that wasn't fun. And I only just lost as well. That was really annoying. But anyway, I've got him. Look, he's averaging 117 for the season. Like, he's been so good. I'd rather have him and cop the 70 odd, because then I'm going to cop the 170 odd the week after. So I don't mind it.
Fun fact, there's only 9
so
players that are averaging over 110 for the year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a weird kind of, the tag's back, which is
the tag is
definitely back.
How does that make you feel that last week you got shit on basically all because of Toby Bedford?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I saw he's playing his 50th game.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping he just didn't play last week. That would have been great. So would have been 50th. But yeah, no, look, Butters is great, honestly. If you don't have Butters, I'd be saying get Butters in. You want to be finishing with the best players in your midfield.
But
he's definitely one of the best.
You know who we're not getting? Connor Rosie.
You pulled the pin.
418k. He's got a break even of 130. He has a 3-round average of 55. And I'm about to spit some facts at you, Pete. He is averaging 3 goal assists per game this year, which ranks him 161st in the AFL.
It's a pretty bad year for him. But granted, it's because they're playing him with a hamstring injury.
Yep. That is correct. So he's got the captaincy. He hasn't looked himself of late. He is struggling to find the ball. He's playing a lot more forward, when we're talking about bringing in primos at this time of year, I think that it's almost time that we put a line through Rosie. He's this price for a reason, and he's almost doing the Jaden Short to us.
I disagree somewhat, just
Okay.
a little bit, bit, because he was in really good form prior to that injury, and then he came back way too early, and then that didn't help. And then he took a couple of weeks off, and it's just he hasn't looked right. So with 130 break even, honestly, everyone should just fade him for this week because he's not going to hit that. And even if he does, he doesn't change in price, so who cares? I would rather him score 140 this week and he goes up 5K or whatever it is, and then I get him for 5K more next week, knowing he's just scored 140 and he looks great, rather than taking a punt off his 75 score.
Yep.
And, maybe you get another 75.
You're right. Yeah. Rounds 3, 4, and 5, I had him, and I probably held on to him a little too long. He went 102, 152, 125. But in his last 5 games, he's gone 65, 91, 53, 39, 75.
All the injured games. But you know what the really kicker for me about Rosie is? St. Kilda next week. That's when we look at him.
As soon as Winhager tags him.
Mate, he's not tagging Rosie. He's tagging Butters.
He's tagging Butters. Yeah. And then you're right. It might mean Rosie goes off the chain, which would be really cool.
Yep. Also, too, that midfield rotation is absolutely killing all of them of like their max potential, which is a real pain in the ass.
100%. Pickles. He's the type of bloke to let his dog shit in your yard and he won't pick it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'll let you read out the notes on him, mate. There's a few Pickles jokes that I've highlighted that we'll bring up.
Oh, beautiful. Love that. So he's 528K. He's got a high break even this week, but he did have 136 last time versus Brisbane, just for those that want to know if they should keep him around. I reckon there could be a chance that him or Wines may cop the berry tag if they do it all.
127 his break even is this week.
There you go. And he had 136 last time versus Brisbane.
Yeah. Pickles is the type of bloke who tries to take out Skiddy as he's just going about his business, walking along.
Rat bastard. He was in the car, wasn't he? I knew it.
Jonas, I love his content. Pickles is the kind of bloke that asks Tony Jones for advice on how to kiss girls.
Oh, Jonas, you don't miss, mate.
He does not miss, does he?
No.
And Pickles is the type of bloke to get hit by a car to avoid being on the show tonight. So
couldn't be me. Could not be me.
Spot on. I love that from Jonas.
Mm-hmm.
Pickles is the kind of bloke that arrives late but always comes early.
Oh.
He's one of those guys. Hate those guys. Now, who we got next? Dan Houston. Amazing last week. 176 million points he got. 574K. Comfortably one of the best defenders this year, Pete. Do you have him?
Oh, yeah. He saved my week last week.
Yeah.
I was watching those points tick up and I'm thinking, great, I'm going to hit 2,000. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So he made it. Otherwise, I would have been screwed.
Thank you, Dan Houston. I don't think there's anything else for Port Horse. That's pretty much the only people that we look at right there. Burgoyne's probably a sell. Other than that, Farrell was good last week, but I'm not trusting that. That was a halfback specialty, and Ryan Burton could be back soon. That would kill him.
One more. Pickles is the kind of bloke who enjoys Kelly Underwood's calls.
No. No one enjoys Kelly Underwood calls, all right? No, I would not have that. Let's go to the Lions.
Okay. Lockie Neal, 609K, 70 last game. I think he gets tagged basically whenever they play a team that has a tagger from here on in.
Yeah.
They've got the Port, Power, they've got the Ds, and then they've got the Crom the next 3, which I think he scores well against the Ds. He scores well against the Crom, and I reckon he probably gets Willem Drew this week.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. But Horse, who are the taggers for the Ds and the Crom that he's going to have to cop?
Neil Bullen.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. Geez, he did a good job on Dacos a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah, but he hasn't done it since.
That's because track has been gone. So I reckon they're not going to tag with Neil Bullen because they need him to get the ball to cover for Petrarca. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. So if I was Lockie Neal and I was saying in the next 2 weeks that he's got the D's and the Crom and there's probably no tags, I think you might feel like
You
this.
gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Or something like that.
I love that.
This week, maybe cops the Drew, but other than that,
Yep.
I think you keep on cooking, and that's not too bad for Lockie Neal after that.
Yep. Josh Dunkley, 563K. That's probably as cheap as he's been for a while. 108 last time he played the Port Power, but has taken that defensive mid role, allowing the likes of Neal and McCluggage to be ball winners. So for me, he's not a top 8 mid. But this next guy, Pete, I'm going to throw this to you, mate. Hugh McCluggage, huge 161 last week. But
I love McCluggage.
Yeah. The last 2 times he's played the Power, he scored 68 2 times in a row.
Look, I wouldn't trade him
Ashcroft is back soon. Yeah.
I wouldn't trade him in, but I like him. I think that he's got the that's the thing. He's got the ability to have those ridiculous games, but then he just doesn't do it often.
Yeah.
So nah, I wouldn't.
There's
I
a lot
like
of.
him, though. I think I rate. You know what? He's the kind of guy that I rate as an AFL player.
Yeah.
That I would never put in my Supercoach team.
Yeah.
He does all those little things. It's like, also just quickly, get your guesses in for Sydney GWS for the Cups. I link him to kind of like what Kane Lambert basically did for Dusty and Richmond when they won those flags.
Yeah.
You know, he was just that plug and play, and he was good when he was able to get the ball, but he did what he had to do to allow the star to be the star. Like, you know, Lockie Neal to Kane Lambert's Dusty. He just let Dusty do whatever the hell he wanted. But when Dusty wasn't in there and needed the break, Lambert would step up and do the little one percenters. I think McCluggage probably has a little bit more polish than Lambert did. But I put it to that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, yeah, you're a Richmond man too, Pete, so you'd appreciate that Kane Lambert call.
I got you, Shakes.
I loved watching Kane Lambert play. McCluggage definitely has a little bit more poise.
yeah.
Kane Lambert was pretty good. Like,
he was.
We got him as a rookie or something, really late pick or whatever it was.
Yeah, I reckon you got him from like the VFL or something, and he did such a good job for you guys.
Yeah, he did real well for us. Yeah.
Kai Loman, 428K. He's got a break even at 94, but he does have that 91 in the bank. Skiddy, if you had him, would you upgrade this week, or are you holding on to him for one more week, given that we're in bye weeks?
I'm still so sorry that that I did not pick this one, and I avidly told people that it was a no. But you know, when 3 of the other forwards go down with ACLs or whatnot, and he just keeps his spot, then bada bing, bada boom, he holds it. So yeah, I would hold one more week. Just if you have, it's just purely on numbers of your team. If you're sitting around like me and Peter with just on the 18, I would definitely keep Loman. If you're sitting at 22 somehow, then then maybe you could look at selling him off.
Yep. Joe Danaher, he's our next man.
Yep.
Your man, Skiddy.
Yep.
Tell me, why do you like Danaher? Because for me, he's up there with Chad Warner as being one of the most arrogant footballers in the AFL.
Yeah, but we're talking about Supercoach right now, Horse. And I know you hate him because he left Essendon and he's gone.
Oh, no, he made Essendon better by him leaving.
That's why you haven't won a final in 25 years. And I know a lot of the chat is probably going to get the same disgust from me saying it like you are, Horse. But stats are stats, right? He's 489K. Yes, that's a lot more than what Jezza is and Kerno is. That's why I kind of do lean them. But when we're talking about form, right, he has a 3-round average of 103. A 5-round average of 103. You know how we got excited about Harry Mkui early in the year because he was getting these marks, he was getting these goals, and he was getting the pinch hit ruck contest, right? That's what Danaher is doing. He's the backup ruckman to Omac. There is no one that's taking that spot because Darcy Ford is not getting in that side. If he's getting all these marks downfield, he's able to push up the ground and he's been able to do the ruck work. And then he's also been able to do it around the grounds because he's pushing up high enough to be able to be impactful around the ground. So you can all say that I'm a cone and I'm out of my mind as much as you want, but I'm just speaking what the facts are showing us for these last games that Brisbane have played. The main thing about it is as well, Brisbane are currently sitting 13th. There's no chance of him getting rested or him, not. He has to pull his finger out and he has to play as well as he can to get them back into the finals. Even when Hipwood kicked 6, he scored 100. This is just what I'm saying on these last 5 rounds.
Price tags aside, Kerno, Cameron, Danaher. 1, 2, 3. Go.
Cameron, Danaher, Curnow.
Pete?
Curnow, Danaher, Cameron.
Danaher is about as useful as a fly screen door on a submarine. That's from Baggers himself.
Yep. Hey, look, you're always allowed to have that opinion. That's fine.
No, you're right. You are entitled to your wrong opinion. That's fine.
That's no worries. Also, too, he has the D's, Crom, and West Coast coming up as well. So there's three absolute sensational runs right there for Danaher.
Dane Zorko, what a gem for Supercoach. If you don't have him, you've got to look at getting him in, please. And the sandwich maker, the Breville.
Mm-hmm.
We're still holding, unless you can upgrade him into your last primo Skiddy.
Yeah, holding for this round, obviously, with the discrepancies of amount of players that we have.
Yeah. So we're going to move into our next game, which is Sydney versus GWS, and we're not going to get into the cup yet. Apart from the man that we've picked here, Pete, can you think of anyone else that's played for Sydney and GWS?
Apart from, I saw everyone's comments. Apart from Mummy, I can't think of anyone.
Sam Reid?
Both.
There's two.
Oh, Sam Reid, yeah.
There's two, but one currently still plays.
Who's the other one?
Sam Reid. Tay Adams currently still plays for the Swans, and then the cup. Who it is Big Shane Sausage Mumford. Yeah.
How many sausages did he eat in the sitting? The man from Bunyip or Garfield. I can't remember.
I don't think he ate them, but he definitely inhaled them. That's for certain.
We've got to do a few 3 for 3s in the chat. We're going to have to start throwing people off.
There's actually a lot with 3 for 3s. They were pretty low balls.
The standard squeeze might be going out of bloody business tonight. We might have a few giveaways. So for the Swans, we'll quickly go through them because there's a bit going on here, and they are very Supercoach relevant because they are as good as what they are. But Pete, Isaac Heaney, he's got GWS, Freo, Saints in the next 3, which is bloody juicy. 109 last time he played the GWS Giants, and he's got to be the favourite for the Brownlow at the moment, doesn't he? Not just Supercoach wise, but AFL in general.
I reckon he's one of the favourites, but I think that Chad Warner might take a lot of points away from him personally.
Okay.
There's 2 games for certain.
Yeah, there's 3 games specifically that he's gonna take the 3 points away from him, but he might get 2 points, 2 votes then and there. He's got a juicy matchup, but against the Saints coming up. I'm worried about the Windhager tag because he's probably going to cop the Windhager tag, I reckon.
They're playing the Giants.
But, you have to have him. He's the best forward in the competition. I mean, maybe Flanders is maybe a little bit more consistent, but Flanders doesn't have the upside of a consistent upside of a Heaney.
Yep.
So you have to have Heaney. If you don't have Heaney, he should be one of your main targets. You have to get.
Errol Goulden, he's been good. 3 tons in a row. But this week, Skiddy, if you had to choose between Errol and the bleached bumhole himself in Chad Warner, who are you picking?
I like Errol more than I like Chad for Supercoach, just purely because Errol can get the ball off of the wing and he doesn't rely heavily. He can get back forward. He's got amazing pace and amazing ground awareness of where the ball's going to go. Whilst with Chad, he does have to compete with now Tay Adams, James Jordan if he goes in there, Isaac Heaney, all this. So I'd take Errol in that. So unfortunately for the bleached arsehole, I know he can still go large, but I think this is just, as Pete said, it's just way too inconsistent because of how good the Swans actually are as a team.
Yep.
Brody
Grundy.
Too.
Yeah. Mills, we've had some eyes down at training this week, Pete. And Mills is still 2 weeks away. He's got a niggling quad injury.
Yeah.
So his shoulder's actually all right. And he's been training with the half backs as an intercepting defender.
He had a calf injury. Calf injury a little while ago too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like during the injury. He's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's going to be real Brody next year.
Oh, yeah. Brody Grundy, 143 last time versus Briggs. On fire of late, and he could go really large again. Nick Blakey,
Just quickly, do you know what Brody Grundy sees when he sees Kieran Briggs?
No.
Couple of these
gotta
ones.
give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Oh, geez. I feel like that soundbite is going to get its worth.
Yes, it will.
Nick, 504K, but yeah, I'm not doing this for Supercoach, especially with Mills' imminent return.
Mhm.
I'm going to shout something out to you boys, and call me crazy if you want, but Joel Amadi at 350K. Sam Taylor is now out with a testicular injury.
Oh,
He's got a break even of negative 52. It's either going to be Harry Himmelberg, Jack Buckley, or Leek Alir that is going to be matching up on him.
Buckley.
Do you think there's a chance he could? He's not going to go that large again, but do you think there's a chance he could 80s or 90s and make bulk coin really quickly?
Oh,
I'll let you have that one, Pete, while I do a little bit of how you goings.
I think you can make a bunch of money, but I reckon it's too late in the year to, unless you've
Yeah.
unless your starting team was so elite that you've still got over 10.
Bulk
Maybe if
trades,
you had
yeah.
12 trades this week, you could do that. But
Mhm.
if you're someone like me who started Kieran Briggs and Jaden Short and traded away Isaac Rankin and traded him back in and then traded him back out, no, don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
Ouch.
It depends on your team.
I think that they're not going to play as crap as a game that Adelaide plays. Like, the Giants are a bloody good side. This is the side that's sitting fifth on the ladder right now. It's not the Crom. I can't see this being, the massive case for Marty. Yes, he'll make coin, but I don't think this is going to be a week-to-week thing. Last time he played the Giants, he kicked 1 goal, and had 4 touches.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Bleached arsehole. He's had 2 down weeks in a row. 100 last time he played GWS, and I don't think he's a primo. And we've already spoken about Callum Mills. Now, for the Orange team.
Oh, geez.
I love that. Off topic, that is actually my intro. That's part of my little intro sound bit.
Really?
Is it?
My thing, yeah. So I've got like a sound bit that I've made of like some of my favorite football moments, and that is in there. Like, sorry, but it is. I just love it.
Can't give her credit like that. She needs to be.
I love it, and I hate it, but I love it.
Yeah,
It makes me laugh every time.
She needs to be sacked because who was it? CJ and apparently Mabir
Joel. She also called Jaden Stevenson Taron Thomas. It's unbelievable. Get your tips in for the D's North Cup, by the way.
Yep. For the Orange team, Tom Green, do something, please do something, huh? He's not doing much. We need more of a little bit of Massimo D'Ambrosio and a little bit of Conor Rossi in this one, Jake.
Oh, mate, just do something for God's sake. Come on, mate. His highest score ever has come against the Swans. That's positive. He got injured 5 minutes into the last time they played the Swans, so that sucks. Just need him to lift. Next 3, they've got this after the Swans game. He's then got the Crom and the Blues. So Crom looks nice to verse, but then the bag is. So yeah, I don't know what to say, mate.
Yeah, what do you think, Pete? Have you got him?
I don't, and I have been avidly telling everyone not to get him all season. His first couple of games were just the first couple. He had the best 2 draw. He had the best 2 games in his first 2 games, or 2 of the first 3, and he played Collingwood when Collingwood just weren't up to scratch. He just beat up on the bad teams. And he never played him again for the rest of the year. And I'm like, no, he's overinflated. These scores are overinflated. Don't pick him. And anyway, for me, for not owning him, I'm okay with watching him score like 70s. That's fine with me. Might mean that I might jump over someone. But then again, I've had plenty of others that have done what he's done. So I'm assuming you guys. I just don't think he's primo level for Supercoach because he just butchers the ball. He's really good. Like, he's good as an inside. Like, he's able to get the ball. It's just what he does with it afterwards, which isn't great. So I don't know. No, I don't think he's a primo. I think I would rather have Chad Warner in my team, and I don't have Chad Warner in my team.
Oh, wow. We, you know what? To Tom Green, stick to football, mate. We'll stick to podcasting. You stick to football. Get back in the game. Come on, mate.
Yep. Toby Green, 411K, break even of 100. Our good friend of the show, Corey Blackledge, brought him in last week, and he scored 80-something, kicking 1 goal, 5. He only needs to turn that into 3 goals, 3 for 110, 120. Do you think he's a sneaky chance to get his average up from here on into the hundreds?
Short answer, no, but I don't hate it. I think he could definitely be in that conversation as one of the forwards that we could have a look at, especially at that price when we're, talking the Jezza and the Kernos and this kind of business. So, I could actually see that.
Yeah.
I think I'd prefer Jezza.
Over
here.
But also, too,
because
it is Toby.
I know he could. Reality, he could punch someone tomorrow and be out for the next 12 weeks. Probably an umpire. I don't really want to risk that because I've seen it too much. I mean, since he's had the captaincy, he's been kind of cool. He hasn't done anything like that, but maybe that's why they gave it to him, just so he stopped punching umpires. I don't know. I don't know.
Josh Kelly.
Sorry, the quick thing about Toby that he hasn't been playing midfield as much as he had been in previous years, and that's why I think I put Jezza and stuff a little bit ahead of him.
Josh Kelly, 560k, will need some big performances to help the Giants stay back in finals. Don't think he can be a mid-8, but is there a chance that he gets tagged in this one? Do you think that Jordan, because you think of the GWS midfield, so you've got Lockie Whitfield, who's been awesome. You've got, and he distributes across half back, but he's not really that damaging with the ball. But you look at the elite kicks in Josh Kelly and who else who delivers the ball inside 50 with precision like he does and kicks goals out of contest.
I think you're bang on the money that if Jordan's going to go to anyone, it's going to be Josh Kelly. But we didn't see that happen last time that they played the Swans. So
no, but Josh Kelly was out, I believe. He had that hamstring for 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, was that part of that? I'll quickly double check.
I think
that
so.
for you.
Yeah. I'll just go through.
54 against them last time. He was.
He didn't score that well, and it was really wet too. Yeah.
Okay.
Kieran Briggs, 487k, break even at 43. He's been better, but still no. And Cogs, we need him back to see the elite level Tom Green. Now, before we get stuck into the D's versus North game, Pete, I don't want you to say who the cup is, but we see a lot of Pickett in the chat. It's not Pickett.
No.
Nope.
Can you think of anyone else between D's and North? And don't say this person's name.
Yeah. Well, the problem is now all I can think about is that person. I thought. The thing is, I actually thought it was. So when before reading it, I saw the game coming up, and I've been trying to do it in my head as well because I'm playing the game too, but I know the answer, so I'm not putting it in the chat because that would be cheating. Maybe. But I actually thought it was Pickett too, so I'm surprised it's not. But I like that I like the obscurity of who it is. I really do. I really do.
Do you think you reckon anyone's going to get it, Skiddy?
Nah,
no one's got 15 seconds.
I'm waiting for it.
No one's got it.
No, mate. I've done them all dirty. Skid has come over the top and he has nailed this. So we see that there's been Byron Pickett. We've seen that there's Cameron Peterson. We see Ben Brown. I could have gone a few ways, lads.
What did Corey pick?
I don't think Corey actually picked. I don't think he had. Oh, yeah. No, he hasn't.
Sean Smith, Joel Smith? No, but he didn't play.
He didn't play for North. No, he did not, mate. No, it was actually he's picked Sean Smith. It was actually the family member clue. And I went Shannon Motlop, 1999 Premiership player for North.
Oh, Jesus.
Shannon Motlop, baby.
How many games did he play with Melbourne?
10.
I forgot that he played with
10.
Yeah. 10. But I loved him as being down on the forward line for North during that time with, Shagger Grant, with a couple of the other blokes. The reason I know a lot of people say that I'm going to be pissed off because I didn't choose Byron. I already chose him for North and Port. So he was not one of the 2 players that I had already chosen from a prior cup. Unlucky boys. Unlucky boys.
For those of you that are in the chat, we are not fading Gorn this week. The main man of AFL 2024 Supercoach.
We're always fading Gorn.
No, we're not. 168 break even, and he'll probably get it this week against the X Spectrum. North, Brisbane, and West Coast in his next 3.
I don't have him.
Mate. You don't have him?
I don't either. He's fade Gord, baby. Let's go.
Fading Gorn. Yeah, hashtag fade Gorn. That's
No,
it.
You are in
you're
the
not-
right. You're in the
You're
right.
not on
place,
with
Pete.
you're not on with
I
these
didn't
dickheads,
start
Pete.
him.
Come on, mate.
No, I didn't start him, and then I watched all these big scores, and I'm like, nah. I'm not trading him out of principle. I'm gonna finish well without him. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna cry every time he scores 130 plus.
Oh,
Thank God.
Fade
thank
Gorn.
God. All right,
My
Clayton
king.
Oliver. Skiddy.
There you go. You've got a supporter there, Pete.
Yeah, we need to get you. We need you in the Discord, mate. The boys would love you in there.
Deadly's sitting. I'm pretty sure he's like top 8,000, and he hasn't. Had
Yeah, he's
Gordon
doing really
once.
well. Yeah.
I think I'm 5 something. I'm 5,000.
Oh, there we go.
something.
See, fake
Without
Gordon
Gorn,
is the strat.
without Gorn all year, I'm happy. I
Fake
started
Gorn is the
Kieran
strat.
Briggs.
Yeah, that's yuck.
That was so bad.
What were you saying, Horse?
Clayton Oliver really needs to step it up without track. 498k.
Yep.
The last 2 times he's played against North Melbourne, 134, 178.
Yes.
Could
Could we at 498k? I mean, this is probably the game if he was going to do anything. Brisbane after that, and then West Coast. So, I mean, look, he's going to be the main man that's got to step up for track, obviously being out. We could see, a bunch of different players that go through the midfield. So, it's definitely going to be the week to watch and see what the Ds actually do with it.
Yeah.
And it could be this man, Cosy Pickett.
Yeah, I like him. I went and picked him up in a draft league, mate. Can see a lot of CBAs here without track, 359k forward. He is consistent, but without track, I think he might have to be that X factor for Melbourne to have any shot of playing finals this year, Pete.
I agree. I think Cosy Pickett is the one to go with. I've had him in my draft league last year and this year. I was kind of hoping that he would take that next step, but Melbourne have a pretty good midfield, so he tends to just not get enough CBAs to do that.
Yeah.
But right now, if you're going to take a punt on someone, I don't mind him at all. I think he's going to be the main distributor. He could play that. He could push forward. He can impact the goals as well. He kind of is a Christian Petrarca type of player with a bit more pace, probably a little bit more skill too. Actually, he's really good. I like watching him. I like him.
Yeah, he's
Whoa.
Good.
What?
Did you say Cosy Pickett is on the same level as Christian Petrarca?
Can be the same level.
Now, I think you might be throwing a little bit of shade just because he was taken ahead of you in the draft. And I think that's all you're saying there, mate. Because, come on. We're talking about track. We're talking about Cosy Pickett. He
can be. He can be. I didn't say he is. He can be. He can be.
Okay. I'll let you off on a warning.
You've been stiffed, mate, I think. You've been stiffed. Alex Bull, Neil Bullen, sorry. Does he tag LDU?
If LDU played.
No. Even if he does, LDU will feast. That is finger-licking good, actually, if Neil Bullen tries to tag LDU. Actually, you know what it is, Horse? You know what it is if Alex Neil Bullen tries to tag LDU? It's one of these ones.
You gotta give him that huck to and spit on that thing. You get me?
Oh, gee.
It's one of them. It's a bit of a huck too.
Oh, God. Caleb Windsor, 265k. Nah, sell him. Bailey Laurie. I was interested in this until kind of around the 102k rookie got named today.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that don't know or haven't been aware of Kynan Brown, so he's been averaging roughly mid-70s Supercoach points in the VFL. Melbourne, I believe, aren't great in the VFL. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pete. But in the 2 practice matches that he played with the Melbourne seniors this year, he kicked 2 goals against Richmond and looked really threatening up forward. And then in the wasn't round 0, I think it was the unofficial practice match before round 0, he only had 6 touches and kicked 1 point. So I think there's a chance that if he's lively up forward and Melbourne continue this spiral towards not playing finals, he could play a bit.
Sorry, are you talking to me?
Well, not now, Pete.
Sorry. Yeah, no. Sorry, I laughed at Skid's face.
I don't.
What his comment was. But, I agree. Yeah, Bailey Laurie, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah. I just don't know how long Brown. I know Brown's 102K, but this job security could be anything. This could be a sub for all we know. Like, you know,
it could
this
be.
is unknown. Bailey Laurie, we can look at it, and he's had 20 plus disposals in his past, like 8 or 9 VFL games.
Yeah, he's been good. He had 16
been
tackles
good.
in a game earlier this year.
Yeah, so he's been looking very, very nice. So yeah, absolutely.
Salem, Christian Salem variety, solid off half back. He's going to continue to be in the major distribute off back. You got this one right, Skiddy. You picked him up, and he's making you bulk cash, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. He is looking fantastic for me right now. And look, at the moment now that I've got him, worst case scenario is that Salem is a player that can replace Track in the midfield as being a distributor. So he's not going to be the hard ball getter, but he could definitely be that outside type of player. We have to remember as well, Track actually hasn't been playing that much inside mid this year. He has been doing it, but he's been playing a lot of time forward in the past few weeks. We've seen Cozzy in there. We can see Sparrow in there. We could see Salem in there. We could see Rivers in there. Yeah. We could see a whole bunch of different players that roll through that midfield, and they may just do a shitload of a rotation, and it's going to be a bitch for us.
And let's move on to the team that is no longer on a winning streak, Skiddy, and that is the North Melbourne Footy Club. Harry Sheesgod, 586K, 120 last week off half forward. He just looks awesome wherever he plays.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it doesn't matter where he plays. He's just been the Rolls Royce for North. They need the ball in his hands. He only had 18 disposals last week and still had 120. So it just shows how much impact he can do elsewhere. The tackling's coming up now. He's being a bit more confident with it. So yeah, I still like having the go of Harry Sheasel in your team.
Did you guys trade him out when he started?
Oh, God, no.
God, no, I kept him. No,
hell no.
Good. I could not. The amount of trade people I saw trading him out, I just couldn't believe it. He's so good. Like I knew that he was going to like take this new role on and figure it out. He wasn't going to play forward pocket. He was playing midfield, rotating forward, which means he's going to get the ball and he's going to kick goals like that. That equals points. You know, you got to get him back in if you've traded him out.
Yeah, I basically had it as equivalent as a better version. Oh, sorry, not a better, but a more well-rounded version of what Brian Myers does for Geelong, basically. And that really accumulates well for his Supercoach points. He just does it more consistently than Brian does.
Yep.
The
Expectrum, Tristan Ekshiri. Do you have this guy, Pete?
You bastard.
No. My ruck line's way worse than that.
who do you have in your ruck line, Pete?
I've got Rowan Marshall. I've had a love-hate relationship with him where I've traded him out and back in. And I've also got big Tim English.
Okay, Tingles. The bloke who's going to Perth, Skiddy.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. For the Expectrum, he's now 570K, 90 last time he played against the D's. Last week was undoubtedly the best game that he's played at North Melbourne.
Yeah.
Hopefully he keeps it up because when he's tapping it to advantage, North Melbourne look like a much better side. LDU, he's 610K now. We've got to keep an eye out in case he may miss this week. So we're not targeting him yet. We wait for confirmation there. Zach Fisher.
Yeah.
So that was a down game last week for Fish, but purely because North Melbourne dominated for a lot of this game. 521K. I still think he's a top 6 forward. Skiddy, do you think he's a top 6 forward still?
Absolutely, mate. The amount of ball that he can win off of that halfback line and North obviously using him, I don't think Colby Bunkircher makes that much of a difference for him. I think the ceiling's down a little bit, but he is still the main distributor. Colby will get it, but Fish is also good with it.
Speaking of someone that's good, Bryn Tickle was good last week, 280K. And it's exactly what North needed, just another big forward.
I mean, how many times have I been saying, my God, North need to get Tez Tickle, bring him in, because it's exactly what they are missing as being that extra ruck option and that extra forward line option.
Yep.
Tez did exactly that on that.
The testicle, exactly right. The Catalina wine mixer, Tom Powell. Pow, pow!
Pow, 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 pow.
I think he's gone. Yep. Pete, do you have him still? Or did you ever have him?
I never had him. North Melbourne, I just feel like they just rotate their team too much. And I had a feeling he was going to be out of that mix, in the mix for a bit, out of the mix. I didn't have him this year. And if I did have him, I'd be trading him out. He's still got enough cash for you to do something with him.
But he's going to bleed it now. Yeah.
But he's going to bleed it from this. He's already bled a lot of cash. So look, if you've still got him, you could turn him into, how much is he again? Let me look.
He's 300 and something.
300 and something. So yeah, so you could turn him into a Jez Cameron with a little bit. If you have 2 trades up your sleeve, you could turn him into a Charlie Curnow pretty easily as well. I'd be doing that. I'd be getting him out of my team.
Skiddy,
absolutely.
Colby McKercher, 379k, and he's finally back after a 5-week hiatus.
Absolutely, mate. Break even at 5 too, which is good. And
It's
he'll have
not going to
that
affect the fish.
No, I don't think it affects him too much. I think Colby will still do what he has to do. -5 break even. I still see both of them working. And then my man horse, George, mother effing Wardlaw. You don't see many first quarters like that. He dominated the Pies. Dominated them early.
This guy is going to be an absolute freak footballer for years to come. He looks like he's got a little bit of Harry Potter about him, a bit of a nerdy look, but my God, the bloke can play.
How dare you, mate? That was fantastic. He's 466k now. Me getting on him for Rising Star at $10 is laughing right now.
Paying $2 now. Yeah.
How good's that? I'm still just a little bit wary of him late in game, so that's why I wouldn't be getting him for Supercoach yet. He does run out of legs. Yeah, it's definitely going to be done a little bit by that, and that's expected for a guy that's been having an injury-riddled start to his career. He just doesn't have the complete engine there yet, but God, he's going to be good.
As a North Melbourne supporter, is there anything that gets you more excited than seeing George Wardlaw bust out of a pack?
No. It's genuinely, it is erotic for me. I absolutely love it. I love everything about him, I reckon.
Well,
and once the goal kicking comes up as well, oh, geez, he just hits people up as well. Oh, God, it's good. It's good.
Well, for me, it's telling this bloke that Lockie Whitfield averages more than 90, and it's Ryan from Astute Newstead. Are your rates above 6.2%? Want to buy a home? Maybe you want to refinance or renovate. Or maybe you just want to save some money like the rest of us. Then reach out to Ryan at Astute Newstead for an obligation and cost-free inquiry. You can get his link in the link tree down below in the description.
I nearly stuffed it.
Trees in the chat. I nearly stuffed it, but I didn't. Now, we've got the Eagles versus Bombers game for those of you in the chat that want to guess the cup. What do you reckon, mate?
That's you, Pete. What do you reckon, mate? What do you reckon the cup's going to be?
Not this guy. You can't say his name, but...
No, I won't say his name. But
where'd you go?
But I thought, okay, the last one was obscure. So I thought that you've gone real obscure again. So I've gone. I feel like the one that you picked is a little bit more obvious than the one that because I'm like, he's gone real obscure. So I'm thinking, who is it? Who is it? So I thought it might have been like a Dale Kickett.
Yep.
Michael Pryor. Michael Pryor.
Or I someone like that. Or you're going with the technicality of like, I don't know, like a Waterman, I suppose. Like
they had to have played a game for both.
You had to have played a game.
Jonathan Giles,
yeah, could have done
GWS's finest.
Elia Grick. Do you remember Elia Grick?
Durick?
No.
Grick. I can't pronounce it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So basically, this one, everyone in the chat has gotten it right because this was a layup. Because if you guys do remember for the last time that the Eagles played the Bombers, I just copy and pasted it because it was already his cup. So I just did it again. I didn't like anyone else.
It is the Scotty Cummings Cup.
The big fella, the big pork chop himself.
Now, Skiddy.
Yo.
Essendon.
Yes.
Zach Merritt, 577k. The Eagles do not have a tagger. He's gone 121, 143 the last 2 times against the Eagles. He's got the Eagles, Cats, and the Pies the next 3. So he should be a good little option in the next 3 games. What are your opinions of my beloved Essendon Football Club and namely Zach Merritt?
You know who's going to get my C option this week, Horse?
Who?
Zach Merritt.
You got to give him that huck too and spit on that name. You get me?
Are you spitting all over my C this week?
Oh, Jesus. Do you have him, Pete?
I do. I started him, luckily. The one player that I started that was actually good. No, he's great. He's probably my captain too if my VC fails.
Yeah. Nick Martin, 511k. Redmond back this week. It probably hurts him a little bit in the back line, and they've been playing him more wing and half forward now too. So I don't think he's a sell, but I think he's a good M9 D7 loop option.
Yep, I agree.
He's still getting plenty of the ball. He's
Yeah,
just
he
not
is.
using it well. It's one of
No,
those
you're right.
things where he'll turn it around. He'll kick 3 goals. He'll actually go at 80% efficiency and he'll score like 140. And nice. But yeah, he won't do it.
Jordan Ridley, though, 128-point average this year. He has been awesome. And in short, I think that he won't continue the 128-point average, but I think he can continue to average 115 for the year.
Ooh.
And if my back line wasn't set already, I'd be picking this guy.
So you have no worries whatsoever about Redmond, McGrath, Martin, Mackay.
Harry Mackay, Ben Mackay
Mhm.
releases Ridley. And then you've got Laverty, who will play on the other big. And then you've got McGrath.
Yeah.
And then you've got Redmond. And then you've got Ridley, who's going to be the intercepting third tall.
Yep.
And then he takes kickouts, and he's got a lovely shoe on him. I think that's the best possible scenario for him. And for those of you that are asking about Jai Menzie, 209K break even of negative 36, with the likes of Redmond coming back and Dersma coming back this week and a couple of others, I don't think he plays back at all.
Yep. Okay. I can say that.
Pete, what do you reckon?
On the Ridley pick, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. He's at his bye. This would probably be a good week to bring him in, honestly. I think that loading up on defenders is kind of the way to go. A lot of our midfielders are being tagged. So I'm in the boat of I'm either going to probably pick a Curnow this week because he's so cheap and he's got a good run coming up, or I go Ridley and I move Sinclair from my D6 at the moment, or D5 or whatever he is, to my midfield, and because he's doing really well, and then have another defender. So I've currently got like a Dacos and a Sinclair in my midfield, and then I've got 6 actual defenders who are scoring so well. So I think that's a play.
I like that.
It's a smart play, mate.
I like it.
Defenders are scoring much better this year than what the midfielders are. So I want more of those guys.
Absolutely. And the only tagger you have to worry about is James Jordan if he tags off the half forward.
Yeah, and he won't be tagging Ridley. He'd probably be tagging like a Nick Martin or
Redmond or
Yeah. So I reckon you're fine. He's playing a lot like he plays more like Luke Ryan this year. That's what he's looking like.
Yeah.
A little bit more like Luke Ryan.
I put him down to like Luke Ryan, James Sicily when he was scoring well a couple of years ago, and Tom Stewart. That's how I'm saying Ridley at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, I agree.
Sorry, Ryan from the CKC. How silly of me. I apologise for not
Mason Redmond, another backman, 515K, but no, I'd rather Ridley. No. Jai Caldwell, you shared him out earlier in the podcast for the mighty Flagdons, 463K, mid forward. Do I see him being a 6th forward? No. Do I see him being a top 10 forward? Yes. Okay. So depending on how you're going for cash.
Yeah, so he's around the mark.
Yep. For the Wiggles, I'm actually really interested in this guy. Like, really interested.
Also, last game, Fremantle versus the Suns. Let's get him
in. Big body midfielder. First name Elliott. Elliott, 514K. We gave up a little bit of hope with his groin injury, but it looked like he was back last week, and now he's had the bye. Reports are that he's going to sign a 3-year deal with West Coast, so he's going to want to finish the year well. He plays Essendon, Hawthorn, Melbourne the next 3, which is rough-ish for mids, but I like the scope that he can average. He could probably average 110 for the rest of the year. And if we're talking 110, I don't think that's too high a ceiling, I guess, or too high expectation for me. We've got to remember there's only 9 midfielders at the moment in Supercoach that average more than 110. And with Yo's flexibility where you can chop and change him back to forward, I think that's just an added asset that he brings to your team.
Yeah, I can definitely get on board with that. I just don't know if, the ceiling is quite there, and especially at actually he's only at 514, so it's actually something that you could take a gamble on for sure.
Yeah, Pete.
The only issue is the injury risk.
Yeah,
we've already seen something flare up this year. If you've traded him out and then you trade him back in, then you have to trade him back out again. It depends how many. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it for his price. What he was doing earlier in the year, he was scoring so well. If he can get back to that, it could be worth the risk. 514k. I don't mind it. I really don't.
Well, for a player that was 630k 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. He had that big 157 against Richmond a few weeks. I remember that.
Yep.
So I don't mind it.
Yeah. Your man, Jake, the W train.
W train.
W's in the
Hell
chat.
yeah. Absolutely.
Jakey
love
Waterman. He kicked three the last time he played the Dons. But I'm not trusting him as a top 6 forward.
Not at that price, unfortunately, for the W train. But other than that, I love everything else he does.
Jeremy McGovern. 101 last time he played against the Bombers. Interesting. But there's better options. If you've got him, you're holding him. But I'm not bringing him in this time of year. Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of West Coast run home either. So, yeah, that's why I just wouldn't pick McGovern.
Yep. Liam Duggan, 475k defender.
No.
Okay. Harley Reid still suspended. And Jack Hutchison, we want to see if he's picked.
Yeah, if the Eagles aren't too pissed off about him actually getting the game in the first place, because that pissed off a lot of people in WA and the West Coast players.
For those of you that were in the chat or on our pod a couple of weeks ago where we had Rob from Perth, our OG of the Insight Fantasy Sports, joined us, and he said that there's a lot of chatter in Perth about Hutchinson playing over some rookies and some players on the West Coast list that hadn't played yet. It may accumulate to the fact that he may get dropped to give someone else a go. Clay Hall in particular, there's a lot of noise about this guy, and don't be surprised if you see him in this week.
Yeah.
Our last game, mate, it is going to be the Flagmantle Dockers versus the Gold Coast Suns.
That is correct.
Is there that many players that have played for both that are now retired?
I believe it's 5.
5.
So there is a couple that were there. So
I said Connor Blakey.
Yeah, Connor Blakey. But look, I actually did a cheeky one to you boys in the chat for this cup. I actually gave you a clue that actually benefited 2 cups, not just one. And yes, the family member was Shannon Motlop for North versus the D's. But it was also for this man, and you boys are on the money. It is Brandon Matera. Well done, lads. His old man played for West Coast. Well done there. Little spark of a forward pocket, wasn't he? He kicked some beauties for the Suns.
Lukey Ryan, 642k. CKC, fade. Last week was a down week. Hopefully he has another 17 down weeks.
Fade Ryan. Fade Ryan. He's got it.
Have you got him, Pete?
I do. There's no way I'm fading Ryan.
Fade Ryan.
He's playing Richmond again in 3 weeks. He almost scored 200 against them.
Yeah.
You gotta pick him.
That's against Richmond.
I don't want to hear
I can fade Gawn. I can't fade Gawn and Ryan in 1 year. That's bad.
Yeah. Deadly has actually shifted. He is now by Ryan.
No!
Oh my God, he's the man.
Oh.
He's changed. We've had fade Rygon for weeks and weeks and weeks, but he's out of it. He's
Deadly.
pulled the pin.
No good. Caleb Sarong, 593k, break even of 148. 146 the last time he played the Suns, but that was last year. The Suns are a very hard team to score Supercoach points against, Skiddy.
Yep, absolutely. Ian just said that was weak as piss by me, and I need to be better about the cups. I don't think anyone was weak as piss, and I think you've all been better about the cups. That was actually very, very impressive from you guys about the cups. So well done.
Yeah,
pat on the back.
It's about as good as they've been so far, yeah.
Yep, you can all be better.
Lukey Jackson. He's still a top 6 mid, though.
Yeah, top 6 mid, and even though he's got the high break even, I still trust him as being the top 8 mid, so I would happily have him in, even if you want to bring him in this week. I would.
Pete?
He's so valuable with that DPP as well. Like if you've got a what's his name? I forgot his name.
Jackson
Livingston on your ruck line in R3. I don't mind having him as your backup option, especially if someone goes down for a week. You wouldn't want to be trading him out, just because it's a 1 week injury. So yeah, I like Luke Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Same with Caleb Strong. He's a top 6 mid, I believe, this
Mate.
year. Jordan Clark, the CKC representative. If you want to know what that is, ladies and gentlemen, jump in the Discord. We will keep you updated.
We're not saying it.
It is not PG, and we cannot say it here. I still think he'll go well for the rest of the season. Hayden Young, though, geez, that hyperextended knee didn't look good last week. Is he going to play this week?
I think so, sure.
Did you guys see it?
I did.
I heard about it.
Yeah, I saw it. It looked bad, but I think he'll be all right, in fairness.
Okay. Jeez, he's lucky.
Yeah.
524K. And again, if you've got him, he's a valuable M9 D7 option. The treadmill himself, Jeremy Sharp, who ran over 14 kilometers last week, Skiddy, for 4 touches. See ya.
Four touches in a cone of the week. Well done, Jeremy. So, yeah, no, he's gone. Piss him off. He's done. Well deserved. Warner, though, 134K defender. He was probably on our radars before we had the news of Brown
Chapman
from Melbourne being the downgrade option. But, yeah, Chapman also being the laid out probably was the thing that kicked him into gear last week. So he's probably a no-no for me.
100%.
Suns.
And for the Suns, the Diddley himself, Sam Flanders, 120 average this year. Still the only Supercoach player to score over 100.
He's still going.
Every game he's played. He's still going.
Unbelievable. What a man.
Yep. He's got Freo, then he's got the Pies, then he's got the North Melbourne Footy Club in his next 3. I don't see Powell affecting him too much.
No.
Because for me, and we'll touch on Alex Sexton now, if Will Powell comes back, Sexton's dropped 100%. Sexton had 30 touches in the last game that they played against St Kilda and was still ranked the 37th best player on the field out of 44 players. He could put Will Powell back into that role, who's got a little bit more dare about his game, a little bit more, he takes the game on a little bit more, and he's going to get the same output out of him. And Will Powell, in that practice match on the Gold Coast when they had the bye, he did play in the 1s team and Sexton was in the 2s team.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we're looking at it now, this Suns defense is actually now stacked. Like you could also make a case for Uwu, but Uwu's been great.
He's been good.
Defensive wise. You're not dropping Mac Andrew. He's in all Australian contention. You're not dropping Sam Collins. He's the big body down there. You're not dropping the Diddley. If Powell is going to get back into this game, it's Sexton. And that's that.
Pete, have you still got Sexton?
No, I traded him out because of this reason. I saw Powell coming back. I can see him coming straight out. Thing is, Sexton could drift further up the ground again and still remain in the team. Powell can't, and they want Powell.
Yeah.
I could see him being hungry too. And
that's a good point, Pete.
Which is good.
Good point, because Sexton 2 years ago won Gold Coast goal kicking for the year.
Yeah. Yeah. It was only a few weeks ago
that
he was playing half forward again.
Yep, absolutely. But I think that's under Stewie Jew. This is Damien Hardwick. Damien Hardwick doesn't value what he does in the forward line. He values more of what Sam Berry and shit does.
Now, this next player, you do the honours, mate, because you say it so well.
Matt Rao.
Matthew Rao, 541K, 109 the last time against Fremantle. Need some more consistency out of him, but I still see him as being a top 10 midfielder this year. The absolute blind date himself, Noah Anderson. You do not know what you're going to get with him each week. 547K. Last 2 games have been tons, which means this week, 67.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good call. I'll go 53. So what we do here, Pete, is when Noah Anderson plays a good game, it's normally followed up by a bad game because, as you notice, he's gone 150, 55, 150, 60, 140, 50. 2 games in a row, mate. It's going to be something small.
Yeah, I reckon a 48. Yeah.
Oh, that is good. I also just realised, Horse, he's coming off a bye. Oh, this could be the drift in the curb though.
27.
All right, fair enough. Got him.
Tookie Miller, mate. Last 3 against the Dockers, 127, 130, 127. So I'm just jumping into him now. 528K. He's got a break even of 142. Oof. They're projecting that he's going to lose 20K this week. So you could get Took Miller next week if he scores his projected 100 at 500K.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very much interesting, but I just don't think I can trust him anymore of just how good this Suns midfield has been. It's not as dominant as the Sydney midfield where we can just choose whichever one we want. I think I don't think this is a Took that we can rely upon for Supercoach just because of how good Anderson can be and how good Rao can be too.
Pete?
He's already less money than what he was when we started the season, and that's when we thought he was a steal price. Nah, not with the form he's been in. It just looks like Gold Coast have a really good rotation through their midfield. Especially before Hardwick was there, it was really only 3 guys running through their midfield, and they had so much pressure on those 3 guys. It meant that their averages went up because they were getting so much more of the football and they had so much more opportunity. Now that they've got like a really big rotation, now everyone's going to average like flat hundreds or 95. And
that's right.
what Miller's doing.
Agreed.
Yep. And Ned Moyle, if Jared Witts is back, he's probably a sell, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything more you want to add on the Gold Coast team?
Mate, he'll probably get dropped. Nah, I don't like anyone else. Powell? No, I'm not touching Powell.
No, not yet. Anything else you want to add, Pete?
Sorry?
Anything else you want to add on the Gold Coast team?
Not really. Again, with Moyle, you traded him in knowing that this was probably going to be the week you traded him out, or even last week. You knew that. It was only ever a 2-week play maximum.
Yeah. I mean, look, if Witts is out still, then obviously hold. If not, then bugger it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do us for our teams this week. Now, what we like to do for those of you that haven't viewed before, 1, what are you doing? Because this is one of the greater shows that you'll find on the internet.
Facts.
But 2, we like getting into what we call buy, hold, sell, and our watch list. So let's kick it off with some buy targets.
Targets acquired.
To start us off with, Skiddy, if this man's fit, LDU at 610K is a buy.
Mate, if he is fit, that is the big question mark right now, so we can wait a little bit. But, mate, this is looking like an absolute sensation of what he's been doing the last couple of weeks. This is what we envisioned that he'd be able to do. And it's purely because Tristan Cherry is finally able to actually ruck to his teammates now. And he's shown it for 2 weeks in a row. I'm happy and comfortable to say that, yes, it's LDU.
Yep. Pete, I'm going to throw you 4 names, mate. I want you to give me the order.
Okay.
We're talking forwards here. Jeremy Cameron, Joey Danaher, Charlie Curnow, Jai Caldwell. Rank them.
Toby Green in there as well.
Toby Green. Okay. So I would say Curnow number 1.
Yep.
Danaher number 2. Jezza number 3. Caldwell, and then Green.
Toby Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you change any of that, Skiddy?
I can't remember what I said originally, but I think I'd probably swap Curnow and Cameron. I think, but also too, Curnow's got a bloody good run home, doesn't he? I'm just looking at play style, and it's more. I like the fact that Danaher's got ruck opportunities. Jezza pushes up onto the wing and into half back to be able to get those marks and extra disposals, while Curnow he relies on goals and then runs down back when it's a close game to take contested marks maybe once or twice a game. That's where I'm just seeing it from an overall perspective instead of being where their actual game style is.
100%. Sarong, not expecting a huge game, but expect him to go well, and he will be good for the rest of the year. He will be in your top 8 midfielders for the year. Zachy Merritt as well. He's got a ripping run coming up, and we could nearly just go the C on him 3 weeks in a row, couldn't we, Pete?
Yeah, we could. I think that I'm just going to click on his. Just want to see. He did really well the last time he played Gold Coast. I think he's a buy. I love him. I really do.
He's got the Eagles, Cats, and Pies in his next 3. So all teams where he could potentially go quite large against. And if you're looking for that 1 up, 1 down option, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to throw in Kynan Brown. So he's a 102K mid forward. You can rotate him forward. You can rotate him mid. If you need to get 18 on the park this week, he might be a sub risk. He might not be, but I think Melbourne are going to stick fat with him now that Petrarca's down. They need some goal kicking up forward because they have been struggling to kick goals. He does provide a presence in their forward line. He does provide forward pressure, and I think he's only going to get better with time.
Yeah.
That'll do for our boys. Let's see who we think you should be selling. You reckon Lockie Sullivan's done, Skiddy?
Yeah, I reckon that's that. I don't see how much more cash we can get out of him, and I'd rather probably just get him out now to go downgrade Brown, fine, no worries, and then get in a primo and solidify the whole team.
Yep. The treadmill himself, Jeremy Sharp.
Gone.
See ya.
Last week's cone. See ya.
Yeah, you're done. I better play it.
Get that garbage out of here!
Yes.
Pow pow! The Catalina wine mixer. Tommy Powell.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you don't.
Garbage out of here!
Right.
He's done.
Bit. Will Phil in the side kills him every single time, as I've said every single week. As if Phillips is in, Powell is not a Supercoach option or a Maltese option or any option.
Skiddy, do you think Pickles is a soul this week? And for those of you that don't know who Pickles is, Jason Horn-Francis.
Yes. So, I mean, he's 528K. He's got a pretty large break even now. He had 136 last time against Brisbane, so I don't hate the hold. I just think that when we're talking about primos as an only a mid as well for Jason Horn-Francis, I feel like there's better options that we can upgrade him to.
Yeah.
I think we brought him in purely because we thought he was going to get forward status.
Yeah.
He didn't. So now that was really the reason we did it, was because he started playing well and we thought we can get him cheap. And then if he gets forward status, great. Well, he didn't get forward status. So
he didn't get it. No.
Kind of failed there.
I actually got him 2 weeks before he started playing well because I liked his run coming up, and then Rosie got injured, so I held him a little bit longer, and now I still have him. And I'm like, when the hell do I get rid of him?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I've just done some quick research, and he's sitting right on 30% time forward. DPP's come out in 2 weeks, so he may receive mid-forward eligibility.
Scratch
17.
Scratch the cell. We're bloody holding Pickles.
Maybe hold him. Yeah, maybe hold him.
Rosie back definitely helps him play a bit more forward too.
70% mid, 30% forward.
Holy shit. All right, we're holding Pickles. We are holding Pickles if we have.
We're selling Moyle, though. If Witz is back, we're selling him.
Yep.
And anyone that's potentially could help you trade up into a premium this week that's sitting on your bench or someone that's bound to lose cash. Speaking of holds, let's talk about some other holds. Clayton Oliver.
I really like that one. I
like
that
it?
one.
Yeah,
I like that one a lot. That was good.
Thank you.
Do you reckon we need to work on hot and cold? Yeah. All right, we'll work on hot and cold. No down. We need to work on hot and cold.
Clayton Oliver. He is a hold, but he really needs to step it up. 498K. He has scored 134 and 178 last 2 times against North, but he hasn't been himself lately, has he, Pete?
Honestly, I reckon he's more likely to score points when you take away that one, so like a 34 or a 70. He has been pretty bad to watch. I brought him in after that massive 140 game score, and I'm like, yeah, he's back. I'm going to get him at 430K or 460K. This is going to be great. And then it wasn't. It just wasn't. His time on ground has been really low. So there'd be times I watched a lot of Melbourne games for some reason, which hurts because I had Oliver and not Gorn, and that was not fun. And then I'm like, and I'd be sitting there going, you know who I haven't seen in a while? Oliver.
Yeah.
Oliver been? He's been on the bench for the last 15 minutes. And, I'm not, I've traded him out. I've actually traded him out. So
really?
He turned into Zach Fisher for me, so I don't mind.
Not bad.
Yeah, so I think do something with that cash. I can't see this being his year. Next year, go for it. Next year, he's probably going to be in my team. Him and Petrarca, both of them, but not this year.
We're holding the sandwich maker, Jake, for one more week.
Yeah, because obviously he's playing. So I think that's the main thing, to be able to make sure that we hold Revel and keep him in the side for one more week.
Yep. And you're definitely holding your primos that aren't playing, especially Rory Laird, if you have him. If he goes back to that halfback role, my fucking God, that looks so juicy for the back half of the year.
Oh, Horse, you know what we say about Rory Laird playing on the halfback flag? All right,
you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that name. You get me?
I get you, random girl from Nashville. I get you. Rory Laird halfback? Hell yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Let's get into our watch list.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Now, we're going to have a bit of a look at the Suns' backline rotation this week, Skiddy, if Powell is back.
Yes, if Powell is back, it's a massive watch to see who gets dropped, who gets moved elsewhere. If it is Sexton, surely they're not dropping Mac Andrews or anything like that. But yeah, the Suns' backline is a massive watch if Powell is back. If Powell is not back, if Dimmer is a little bit out on him, that would be huge, a huge call and a huge disciplinary action to show.
Yep. Pete, the fourth Melbourne midfielder who comes in and plays a substantial role for the Melbourne Footy Club with Petrarca out. Who do you believe it might be? Because we're keeping an eye out here.
I think we mentioned it before when I made a very bold claim. Pickett, I think, will be the one that comes in. And I'm kind of hoping that I'm right. Otherwise, I'm going to be eating my words if he scores a 30 and has like 2 disposals. But yeah, I think it could be him. If Melbourne needs some X factor, and he's got that.
Yeah.
And that's Keziah Pickett, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Skiddy, I'm keeping an eye out on the Bombers' backline rotation again now that we're getting a little bit more healthy.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to play Martin a little bit more wing half forward now, which is going to allow Redmond, it's going to allow McGrath, it's going to allow Ridley to do their thing. So that's where I'm keeping my eye out for. And you like the looks of Connor Rozee, or you want to keep an eye on him?
Oh, God, no, I'm not liking what he's doing whatsoever, but we know how good he can be, so I'm definitely watching him and how Port are going to utilise this midfield rotation. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on Rozee, Wines, Boak, Butters, Jason Horne-Francis, Pickles, all of these guys, and Willem Drew as well. Like, that's how many players are going through this Port midfield. So I do want to see what happens with Rozee, because he is at a very, very cheap price for a player that he is.
Okay, I've done some quick research here, and I've got a collection of names that I'm going to reel off that are all DPP eligible or are on the bubble or close come round 17. And these are going to be on our watch list too. Zach Williams, 72% defense, 28% forward.
Yep.
Isaac Rankin, he is qualifying now as a midfielder, 31% forward, 69% forward.
Ooh. Wait,
Jordan Dawson.
Wait. You just said 31% forward,
31% midfield, 69% forward. You only need 30% at one end of the ground in order to be able to qualify for having DPP. Jordan Dawson, 76% mid, 24% forward. So he's going to need to play a lot of forward the next 2 games. Steel side bottom, 72% midfield, 28% defense.
Crom have a bye, so that's only 1 game for Dawson to be able to get.
Which means he probably won't get it.
Yeah.
Lockie Sullivan, if you're still going to hold him, 68% mid, 32% forward. Okay. Toby Pink, your man, 50%. Titty, 2 in there. 50% defense, 42% forward.
Interesting.
8% ruck.
No.
Jason Horne-Francis, 70% midfield, 30% forward.
That's the interesting one.
Harry Sheasel, 53% defense, 26% midfield, 22% forward.
Oh, Jesus.
Chad Warner,
73%
midfield, 27% forward.
I did say that on...
Now, Chad, as a forward, we're talking something.
We're talking a little something there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will keep an eye out for that here on the Insight, and so will Pete at Nerds for Life. We'll shout out your links and that at the end, Pete, but make sure you follow him, and we'll keep you up to date with everything that we are doing. Skiddy, Captain's choices.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready, kids? Aye, Captain.
Chat him out, big dog.
I'm going to bang through these pretty goddamn quickly. Maxi Gawn versus North. I think that's pretty bloody obvious of how he is a captain's choice. Caleb Sarong, 146 last time versus the Suns. But the Suns that was against the Suns last year. This year, they are the number 1 hardest team for midfielders to score Supercoach points against. That does make it tough for him there. But Flanders, the diddly, that is a genuine shout, as they do give up a lot of points to halfbackers. Will Powell is the asterisk there with his maybe inclusion. Clayton Oliver, if you still have him, 134, 178 last 2 times against North. We'll see how they go, though, because North's midfield has been pretty bloody good this year. Zach Merritt is one that I am genuinely looking at big time. 143 last time versus the Eagles in Melbourne. So, I really like the C on Zach Merritt this week. Where my VC is probably going this week, and that's Brodie Grundy, 143 last time this year versus Briggsy. So I really do like that. And then Geelong give up the third most amount of Supercoach points to Ruckman Horse. If there's no Pitnet, TDK, if you have him, could genuinely be a shout. Pete, is there any other captain's choices that you would look at this week?
If I do go that route, it would be Patrick Cripps. I mentioned him earlier. Cats concede a lot of points to inside midfielders, so that's a juicy one. I like and also, I don't mind a Luke Ryan. I think that he's beat up on Gold Coast.
Fade Ryan.
Sorry?
Fade Ryan.
He can do it. He can do it. He can beat up on Gold Coast's forward line, especially if Alex Sexton goes forward.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he can. You're not wrong there. I just say Ian in the chat. He just asked Dan Houston this week against Brisbane. I mean, I can see it, but in Port, I don't think he was going to do what he did last week against Brisbane. Not. But I still think he'll ton. I think he'll ton pretty comfortably.
He did go 144 at the Gabba 2 years ago against them, so it's not too bad.
This one's at Adelaide Oval.
True.
I don't know. Yeah. That's a real tough one because that's a good game.
You could do a VC. You could throw a VC at it. Hope for the best.
Yeah. You definitely could. I mean, mine's on Grundy. But yeah, I don't mind the VC on Houston. In fairness,
my VC gone into Merritt.
Like it.
And ladies and gentlemen, that'll do us for captain's choices. Skiddy will post his statistics for the teams that are the easiest and the hardest to score against in our Discord. So if you want to get all the latest up-to-date info to know who you should be bringing in this week, hit us up in the Discord. The description is down below.
Yep.
Skiddy.
Yo.
Pete, it's time to talk a little bit about our Punters Club.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Pretty straightforward what's going on here. You get into the Discord, you go to AFL, you join the Punters Club section. Kizza, our man, the El Presidente, he does some beautiful work. Pete, I'll let you know here, mate. If you like winning money, all you do is go into our Discord, you go into the Punters section. Kizza puts up some beautiful early game multis, so he'll look at it as soon as the odds come up. He'll find the best odds for it as well. He's already, I think one of the boys is already looking at North line of 30 points at $2, which is bloody beautiful there, I reckon. It's obviously a little bit iffy with LDU there. But yeah, the boys were on fire last weekend, and we're going to be looking at doing the exact same thing again. As we always say, though, you bet what you can afford. It doesn't matter how much you put in. All we like to see is your slip so we can all ride it together. And as we always say, Horse, Lockie, Bramble responsibly.
That's right. Gamble responsibly. Only bet what you can afford to lose and always gamble responsibly. Let's get into some questions.
It's question time. Let's answer your questions for the week ahead.
All right, so I've got to go through the questions again. Thank you, Jasper. Absolute ripper bloke you are. I've got to bring this up again. Mm-hmm. Pickles is the kind of bloke that asked Tony Jones for advice on how to kiss girls. That is probably the best one we've seen this year, mate.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Why isn't this? Is this bloke in our Discord?
Who's that? Sorry, Jonas. Yeah, I think he's joined.
I hope so. I want this elite level shithousery all the time. Michael Higginson, this bloke, ladies and gentlemen, he is jet setting across to Las Vegas next week, and he is playing in the World Series of Poker, representing our great nation, Australia. Good luck to you, Mick. We're all right behind you, mate. And geez, we hope you do well, mate. Come back with your pockets full of cash, and we'll see you on Foxtel or Optus Fetch, whatever you watch it on, and watch our man go crazy.
Hey, Horse, just quickly. What do you reckon about this one? Kizza, our El Presidente, asks, who wins a goal kicking comp, Horse, Skiddy, or Pete?
I got you blokes covered easy.
Oh, okay, Mr. 9 goals whenever the fuck you want. All right, we'll see. All right, I'll see how it goes. I'll see how it is.
Right now, I would not be able to kick over a jam tin.
Yeah, and I can't run more than 5 meters, and my shoulders don't allow me to put my hands up over my heads properly. So yeah, I'll probably go with Pete.
Pete?
You guys have not seen me play. I reckon not being able to kick over a jam tin is better than I can do. So,
and this is coming from a bloke that nominated himself for the AFL draft.
Yeah,
I nominated myself. It's a joke. No,
that is an all-time story, mate. We love that.
That's brilliant.
Tommy Guns. Chincotta goes to Holmes.
Can definitely say that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jonas.
I think that's the one.
Tom Stewart-esque should be serving drinks on the Cats bench.
Fuck.
He's full of good shit. This
Hey, he's got the good ones.
Tommy Guns. Jaden Short is blacklisted. I'm with
likewise, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Chincotta actually stays on his man, and he's bigger and quicker than the small forwards, and now plays some mid. Yep.
Yep, agreed, absolutely.
Chris, is it just me or the big horse looking extra? Oh, mate, thanks for noticing.
Oh, jeez. I'll tell you what Chris is trying to do to Horse, everyone, ladies and gentlemen.
He's buttering me
You
up.
gotta give him that huck too and spit on that name. You get me?
Doesn't need that. He's got me moist by that.
Oh, jeez. A little bit of extra lubricant never hurt you, Horse. That's for certain.
Nah. We'll moisten up the loins. No worries. Adam Chera came to my son's Oz kick on Friday. Called my boy Dusty as he kicked a goal.
What a man!
That's bloody awesome, mate. Love to hear that.
Cool. Good on him.
If Port are going to make anything of this year, given everything else falling down, he has to find the ball. Talking about Connor Rozee. Hopefully that means the side look after him. Port also kick longer off half back. Rozee definitely needs to lift. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pickles is the kind of bloke. Pickles is the kind of bloke that gets shouted drinks all night, and then it's when he's turn to buy, he's nowhere to be seen. Yep.
That's stock standard.
Pickles likes Laura Kane.
Okay. Let's just do footy chat for a second.
Okay.
That's the biggest load of crock of shit I've ever heard of her trying to dance around how that's not a 50. Like, just come out and say, yeah, we fucked up. That was meant to be a 50-meter penalty. 2 guys ran at him. One of them touched him when the mark was called. And then she's like, oh, yeah, but he kind of ran off his line. And then the umpire stuffed up because he didn't blow his whistle. So they still fucked up. Like,
yeah.
Laura, just say they mucked it up. It was wrong. The umpires stuffed it. And then we can start asking how the Dacos non-handball was not holding the ball. How Collingwood were able to have 2 throws in a row. How Bailey Scott's touching the ball where his finger moves on the score review and they don't call it. Laura, actually, you know what, Horse?
She's a Cone of the Week nomination.
Laura Kane, weak as piss, be better.
Yes.
I'm doing it on a Wednesday night. I don't give a fuck. I'll do it anytime.
And you know what you don't need? Some huck. All right there.
No.
To go
I'll tell you, I could always use some huck too. I'll tell you that much.
Kizza, why didn't we take McCluggage at 1? Yeah, I know. That would have been so nice, mate.
Ash McGrath's going
Skid fits for Brisbane. Ashcroft back could help. It will absolutely help, mate. Jonas the GOAT. Kynan Brown, rookie, making his debut. Absolutely. Jonas. James Jordan will be wearing Lockie Whitfield tighter than a Japanese condom.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't know where that was going. Fuck, I need to read these first, don't I?
Yeah, you probably should have checked that one first, mate.
Yep. Whoops.
I like that one.
Marshall
That
is
was good.
going to fire up after their bye. The rest will do him well. I hope so, Skids.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
And you know what? You've got some bloody fans in the chat, Pete. Yes, now, Pete, my king. They're talking about the Fade Gorn experiment, mate.
The Fade Gorn. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
This is one of the bets that our Punters Club president picked up on last week. George Wardlaw at $7.50 to get top disposals. So that was a nice little win for the boys in the chat.
Mm-hmm. That was beautiful.
Jonas again. Pickett will get high CBAs, but play forward. They need him kicking goals. Yeah, I think they do as well.
Yeah.
I have Dawson. Heidelberg is a nice area from JRD.
So what, Horse? I'm going to be getting stuck into our Heidelberg doctor and see if he can give us a little bit of a 1-2 on Christian Petrarca this week. We all know he's bloody hard to get a hold of, our Heidelberg doctor.
Is. So Skids Fitz can confirm that it's nice there because he lives there.
I can guarantee Heidelberg is not a good place to live. No, that's not
Pickles is the kind of bloke to display his Lawrence Angwin Community Award on the mantelpiece.
Oh,
Do you remember him, Pete? Lawrence Angwin?
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah,
He could play, but just a little loose between the ears.
yeah, not great.
Kieran Herbert, thank you for joining us.
Not bad, but not great.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on the pod, Kieran. Pete, I'm going to throw this one to you, mate. Thoughts on Josh Kelly as a pod?
I don't love it, to
No.
be honest. I don't love it. I think there's better pods.
Yeah.
Is that because it's like tag availability? Are you worried about Cogs coming back? Are you worried about the upside, basically?
He doesn't have that ceiling that he did a few years ago as well.
Yeah.
I just don't see the big 150 score. I see him maybe averaging a flat ton. It's like, it's not terrible, but I don't think you're going to be winning too many head-to-head matchups because, Jelly did something great, I think that, I think he's a good player, definitely, but not that great. Like, I would be taking a punt on Cripps over him. I've been talking about Cripps way too much.
But he better have a ripper this week.
I know, he's going to score a 50. He's definitely going to score a 50 this week, just so I sound horrible.
Yeah, exactly right.
JRD.
Hang on, just Pete, are you in our Discord?
Not yet, no.
Oh, yeah?
Will be as of tonight.
Pete's going to get into the Discord, and
get
if
in.
Cripps goes lower than 70, I give our Discord full reign to get stuck into him.
Yeah, absolutely get stuck into the man.
I will not be offended. I really won't be. I deserve it. I do.
To the show, and thank you very much for coming on. Carry on.
Jez, as a pod, yes or no?
Yeah, I like Jezza. Yeah. But there's a lot of forwards options we can go, but I do like Jezza.
Basilenka is merited by 100% yes.
Yeah, bye for a long time.
JRD, in regards to your man, Matt Rao, the ringer better lift.
That's Tony Hink, right?
Kids are trying to get his free shit in for his referral. Brilliant.
Yes. Hey, that's actually a good shout, mate. So for everyone listening at home, if you're not in our Discord, join our Discord. Once we get to 1,000 members, there's, I think, 9 members to go. So you jump in and you go in with a chance of winning a $50 prize pack thanks to the guys at the Standard Squeeze. If you refer a member, then you go into the draw as well as the new member. So lots of love to get around in there. Kizza, Power can also intercept mark as well as rebound long, and that is why he will take over from Alex Sexton.
Yep.
I just got to find out where I am in the chat because that's the last I had starred.
Sorry, I'll do a couple here as well. Deadly asks Pete, want to join the Discord as an invite as we are Fade Gorn brothers?
My invite from the Fade Gorn brothers. Yeah. I'm in.
You got a few here.
He's in.
And then my favorite one from Skits. Hey, Pete Huck too. Oh, shit.
Yep. And those stats that I gave you about who's got the DPPs and who's not, that was thank you to this guy, Corey Blackledge. He does some amazing work behind the scenes, and we've got his team up and going, Skiddy. He's gone up nearly 20,000 spots in 3 weeks. So we're going to get him into the top 15K by the end of the year. That is our goal.
We love that. Absolutely love that.
What else we got here? Tony Jones is a stallion.
Yep, that he is. Absolutely.
Yep.
Horse, I just want to quickly bring this one up because thank you very much. Deadly is loving the weakest piss be better on a Wednesday night, and he's wearing the hoodie.
Oh, what a man. So for those of you that, the clothing store is in the description down below. If you want to have a bit of a surf there and buy some stuff, go nuts. Should I have read this? Probably not. Pickles is the kind of bloke who learns his moves from his mentors. Thirsty old creepers like Tony Jones and Ricky Nixon.
God.
Whoops.
I got a story about Ricky Nixon as well.
No, not now.
All right.
And that's all we've got. Pete,
was that you that just joined the Discord?
Yeah, that was me.
What a man.
Why is your name terrorist? Why is it terrorist?
No. Jake.
That's why I was quickly going, oh shit, I need to change my name. So my last name, it's a play off my last. It's terrible.
Gotcha.
Way too much.
So
very nice,
Pete. That's it for our show tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, Pete. It's a pleasure to have you on. For the guys at home, mate, where can they find you?
Well, my hashtag is @NerdsForLifeSC. So that's short for Nerds for Life Supercoach. It's just there. Find me there. Thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. I'd love to be on again in the future. It was great fun. Great fun.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Love talking footy.
Yeah, and we love talking footy with like-minded people, mate. And I want to give you a shout out for the stuff that you did in the preseason, your content that you were covering. We did a bit of stuff in the preseason as well. And your stuff is good stuff. So for those of you that are listening, I highly recommend that you go across and follow Pete on Twitter, on Facebook. Get a look at his stuff because his intel is really good, and working collaboratively together, this guy does know what he's talking about, and we wouldn't have got him on the show unless we really rated his stuff. So from Skiddy and I and the Insight community, Pete, thank you very much for coming on. And for your time tonight, mate, we have teed you up a $50 pack, thanks to the guys at the Standard Squeeze, so that'll be coming your way shortly.
Awesome. Thanks so much. That's awesome.
Skiddy, you got anything else for us for tonight, mate?
Mate, just got to say thank you very much to all you beautiful bastards in the chat. Had an absolute ripping night with you guys. You're all absolutely hilarious. Great job again on getting close to the on the cups. Hopefully you guys will snag it next week. 9 for 9 is going to be a tough one, but don't worry, I'll get the stuff in there. But all you guys are absolute legends. I just want to say a big thank you as well to Petey. This was exceptionally fun. It's great to know that there's other absolute legends out there in the Supercoach community, and I didn't expect you to be this funny and this good, but here we are. I'm here to be proven wrong, so there you go. And Horse, thank you for just being you.
No, just kidding. Stop it. You always make me blush, my man. But before we finish each episode, ladies and gentlemen, we took a vow some weeks ago to break the stigma around mental health. We want everyone at home to know that it is okay not to be okay, and it is not weak to speak. Our Discord is open. Our inboxes are open. We invite you that if you're not feeling well or you need someone to talk to, please reach out to us. We are happy to talk to you. We're happy to be that anonymous person just to get some shit off your chest if you need it. Skiddy, myself, Pete, anyone that's in the chat, we're all a good bunch of blokes. There's no judgment there. It is okay not to be okay, and it is not weak to speak. So speak up. I highly encourage it. We're all human. It's okay to feel down occasionally, but with the group that we've got in there, it won't take you long to start feeling good about yourself because we have an absolute ripping bunch of people in there. But for tonight, thank you to Pete. This is Skiddy. I'm the Horse. We'll catch you either in the Discord or on Sunday night for our live reviewing round 15. We'll catch you then.
You gotta give him that hawk too.